Hello, it is Friday, May 8th. Welcome to the Team Butterfly Effect All Hands Call. Um, we are now currently still in the first third of May. And I don't know about the rest of you guys, but May always just kind of is one of those months that flies by for me because of the kids at the end of the school year. And I swear, I feel like I've subbed out half of my classes this month because I have to be up to school for preschool graduation and field days and into the school year parties and all that stuff. So I guess my point of sharing that with you guys is we have to be so much more focused this time of year, this month specifically, than maybe another percentage of the year, when except for maybe the holidays when things are so busy again. So I honor each and every one of you who take the time to log in live, especially right now, because I realize that there's just so much going on. So I appreciate that. And each and every person who listens to the recording, I really appreciate that too. Believe it or not, I do pay attention to how many people watch. But I'm really excited to share the information with you guys today that we have a guest speaker. It is Bridget Hammond, and she is actually a member of Rockstar Presenters. She is a part of Jessica Kennedy's downline, and Bridget and I don't know each other real well, but what I do know about Bridget is I really respect her vibe. She was in the Rockstar Presenters VIP group with me for a certain amount of time, and one of the things that just blew me away about her was the amount of time that she took to progress in her business. You know, it took me years before I became a diamond, and Bridget just became a Beachbody coach this summer. And she just became a Beachbody coach this summer, and she became diamond within 6 months. I think maybe I put in our group this morning that she did it in 90 days, but 6 months, that's still freaking awesome. She is a wife, she's a mom, she was in corporate America for years, but now she's a fitness instructor and personal trainer, and she's going to be talking to us about how to hit the ground running as a new coach. So she's going to start by telling a little bit of her story with us, and then also her tips for how do you hit diamond in 6 months. For those of you who have been on for a while and are still struggling to hit diamond, I hope this information helps you today. So I'm going to give the stage now to Miss Bridget.
Awesome. Thank you. Super excited to be here today, you guys. So yeah, I'll just give you a quick little background on me, and then I'll jump in counting. I'll probably have like 8 tips. So if you want to kind of take any notes, you know that there's going to be kind of 8 topics that I'm going to talk about. Somebody has some background noise that I can hear.
I just muted somebody, so I think has that taken care of it?
No.
I'll mute myself. Maybe that'll help.
That was it. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's see a little bit about me. Like Aubrey said, I worked in corporate America for 12 years before children, and was kind of unfulfilled, felt a little trapped and stuck. I always dreamed of having a fitness job. I did teach classes on the side at the time. I taught them during my lunch hour. So fitness was always my passion. But actually before that, if you kind of rewind, I used to be a runner only, and I ran a marathon 12 years ago. And I used to run and just kind of thought that whatever I ate was going to be burned off in my running. So I actually weighed 40 more pounds when I ran that marathon 12 years ago. And so I kind of got to a point where I just didn't like who I was and was just kind of unhappy in some other areas too. I lost my mom when I was 21. So I think my mid-20s were kind of a tough time for me transitioning into the real world. I had a decent job, but just kind of took it because I just didn't have anything else, didn't have really direction. So when I had ran that marathon, I kind of saw some pictures and was just like, oh man, this is not who I am and this is not who I want to be. So I was kind of on a mission. I joined the Y and took some classes and met some really awesome fitness folks and did some, cycle, body pump, just to shake it up, because just running only was obviously not a good idea. And then it made me hungry all the time, so I was not, fueling my body with the right nutrition. And I fell in love with group fitness. So I became an instructor while I was in corporate America and did as much as I could with that. And then I met my husband and we had family, and I just quit corporate America and kind of decided that fitness was my true passion. So each year, my guys are 5 and 3. I look to add a little bit of something. And last year or 2 years ago, it was personal trainer, and I've always kept the classes. And then last summer, a friend of mine came to me with the coaching opportunity, and I had never heard of the coaching position or opportunity before, but I was so intrigued because of the programs. Obviously I knew of P90X and T25 and, all of the awesome programs. So I was so curious because I felt like I was kind of looking for this for a really long time. And I don't want to return to corporate America. I want to have a plan for when my guys are in school full time in 2 years. And I wanted to start it now so that when that time comes, I'm not sitting there going, oh man, I kind of lost myself. What am I going to do now? So that really motivated me. I want to be up and running so that when they, are gone all day, I have a plan. So that's kind of how I started. I jumped right in. I never actually tried a program or Shakeology. I signed up as a coach and I bought Pio, and I was just telling a few friends and they were interested in starting it with me. And so I did it with them. So that's kind of my first topic here, you guys, is don't be afraid to jump in. You don't have to wait for the right time. There's never going to be a right time. You got to just go. And I'm kind of a person who I'm a doer, and I'm not a big thinker. I think about it later. I just say, yep, I'm going to do it, and I figure out the details later. So sometimes you just don't want to overthink. So my very first tip to help you get started, or maybe you're already started, but you just kind of want to, get going a little bit more, is tell everyone you're a coach. Get out of the closet as a coach and tell everyone. That's so important. I was telling everybody and their brother. I emailed friends and family. I told them, hey, you're probably going to be hearing from me again, but I want to just tell you what this is. I told them what the coaching was and that I'm probably going to reach out to them to join me in a group. And if in the meantime they wanted more info, to come and ask me, or if they know of anyone that needs help with nutrition and fitness, at home, to, I'm your gal. So just from that initial email, some folks would come back and say, oh my gosh, my husband was gonna, buy P90X. Can he get that through you? Or, oh gosh, I've seen that, 21-day fix on an infomercial. Is that part of it too? So just by spreading the word, you do not know how many people will eventually come back to you too. Even if they don't respond to that very first note. Some people are like, oh, I sent my email and I told people, but they didn't respond. Well, you weren't really looking for a response. I didn't say, please reply back to me, right? I was just throwing it out there. So that was kind of my first step, telling all my family and friends what I'm doing. I made a little Facebook post, hey, I'm a fitness instructor, and I'm a personal trainer, and now I get to add a third fitness job to my resume, and I'm so excited because now I can reach people at home. Like, I've been kind of looking to do this for so long, and I just didn't know how to do it, and now I can help everybody at home. So that helped too. It's just throwing it out there. People might not respond, but they're watching you. And a lot of times, if you ask for a challenge group on Facebook without really saying what it is, people just don't know. So just educate them. What is this coaching position, and what are programs? What does the online piece look like? just help to educate, and then they can at least have it in the back of their mind. Another thing quick too about that initial letting people know. My husband actually, not a lot of people know this. He was skeptical, like most spouses are when you sign up, right? So he made me submit a business plan. He did not want me to spend money without a way to earn it back. And I was pissed. I was like, I can't believe you're making me write a plan. That's, I just was so mad at him. But I sat at my desk and I was like, I'm going to show him, I'm going to make this sweet plan. I'm going to send it to him at work and say, these are all the people I'm going to talk to. In X amount of days, I'm going to earn my Shakeology back. In X amount of days, I'm going to start, making money. So I had it all laid out, sent it off, and was kind of mad. But then his response was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I totally support you, but I just wanted you to think about it before you did it, right? Did I tell you that I just kind of like to jump in and not really have a plan? So that's probably how we work together good. He forced me to make a plan, and then it really helped me. And I probably don't tell him that, but that's the reason probably why I jumped in as fast as I did, because I had a list. Who can I help with nutrition? Okay, so maybe write this down. Make 3 categories. Think about all the folks you can help nutrition-wise. Think about all the folks you can help exercise-wise. Think about all the folks that could benefit from both. Okay, so obviously there's, might be some crossover there. But there's 3 categories, and then start reaching out to those people. I know at first you kind of feel like you're being annoying, but you're not. You don't have to say it in a creepy way like, hey, I think you need this program. Obviously not. You're going to say, hey, I'm super excited about what I'm doing. I've learned how to clean eat. I feel amazing. I'm just sharing it. And if you know of anyone that, would like to join me, let me know. And that's a lot of how I use my verbiage with people, is just, if you or anyone you think would benefit from this, please let me know. And then it doesn't feel so weird that you're kind of hinting that they need it, right? So just, be mindful, and it's just about sharing, really. And people will actually respond really well. So making the list. Now we're on the topic of inviting. So also you want to keep track of the no's, and that's going to be huge, because you'll want to circle back to those people. A lot of times no means not now, right? And those people are probably going to come back. So just keep a good little system. I am not the most organized person as far as spreadsheets. I have some stuff in Excel, but I do a lot in my notebook. So whatever works for you, just keep a log, people that you've talked to, and then you can kind of circle back. And a lot of people will actually reach out to you when they're ready. And sometimes it's just not the right time. So don't give up. Don't feel like no's, or anything against you. It's just not the right time for them. And a lot of people, my Success Club history has been, I think the lowest I've had is 16, and the highest maybe 29 in the last 9 or 10 months. And that's because people think, oh, people say yes to you. They just must really like you. Well, I asked a lot of people. It's not because everybody I asked said yes. You don't even want to know how many people I asked. So don't feel like it's easier for some people. Like, sure, maybe I have access to people at the gym, but that doesn't mean they're all going to want a program. Maybe they're happy with what they're doing at the gym. It's just about asking, right? And another thing, if one way doesn't work, just try another way. If you post on Facebook and it's crickets and you don't get any response, which happens to me a lot, I just wait a week and I try something else. So don't give up. Don't feel bad, or, are people getting sick of me because I'm talking about fitness and nutrition? Well, for me, I've never felt like I was bugging people, because they know I'm passionate. And if they know who I am truly, they know I'm not being pushy or trying to be salesy. They know that I have a big heart, and I'm just trying to help people. So just be confident in knowing that you're just trying to, share your excitement and your passion, and it's not bugging people, okay? That's the other thing. You do have to get over the fear of rejection in this business. As I'm sure you all have learned, you kind of have to have some thick skin. And some days things might sting a little depending on your day, but you just kind of have to learn to shake it off, because you're going to see and hear it all. You really are. I like to joke with some of my coaches. I say I've learned that people are just weird in a good way, but like, haven't you had so many stories of what people say, like why they can't do it or the questions they ask you? It's just like, there's no rhyme or reason. You're going to hear it all. So just keep plugging along and don't let things kind of set you back. As far as inviting, one other topic under that is for when you invite coaches. What I like to do is I like to put people into 3 categories. So you want to do your Shakeology users, go through your back office and find all of those folks that have maybe enjoyed it for 2 months and, write their names down and reach out. And all you do is say, hey, I see, you're really enjoying Shakeology. Do you plan to continue this longer term? If so, there's a way to turn yourself into a discount coach to save about $20 a month. Do you want to know more? That's it. That's all you have to say. And who wouldn't say, sure, I'd like to know more about saving, about $20 a month. So that's kind of how you start that conversation. You don't want to spew out a bunch of details on how to convert yourself to discount coach. Here's what you got to do. It's da-da-da-da-da-da, because that's going to confuse them, and they're going to be like, oh, that sounds like way too much work. I'm not doing that. So make it real short. Just say, hey, I see you're enjoying Shakeology. Do you think this might be something you want to do longer term, to keep going with your clean eating? If so, let me know, because there's a way to change yourself from customer to discount coach. That is all I say. And when I started using that language, I got a ton more of discount coaches, okay? So that's a little tip. And your second category for inviting coaches would be those challengers that stick out in your groups. Maybe it's someone that's posting a ton of recipes and they're enthusiastic. And all I do is send them a message saying, hey, I love your motivation in the group. You're so awesome. I love you sharing recipes. Like, wow, you'd make a great coach. That's it. I just let it be. And they'll come back and say, well, thanks for the compliment. I mean, I guess, or, ooh, I'll think about it, or, ooh, maybe not now, but when I'm done with this program and I, kind of get into my groove, we'll talk about it. So give them some compliments, just kind of watch them and see their response to that, to you complimenting them. And that's always a really nice way to kind of start some of those coaches into being interested, at least having it on their brain early. And then the third category of coach inviting would be people like you. Maybe it's someone that's super motivated. Maybe it's someone that's a fitness person like you, if you are. Maybe it's someone who, like me, who doesn't want to go back to the office job and that they would really benefit from something at home. Maybe it's someone that just wants to help people. So just write a huge list of those folks down and kind of start, starting those conversations with all the people on your list and eventually kind of reaching out to them. All right, the third category is time blocking. And I'm sure Aubrey does a really good job of talking to you guys about this, so I won't touch on this very much. But I was really bad at the beginning because I was so excited and into this really fast on. I probably spent a lot of time answering all day. So we kind of all learn that that's not the best way, right? Because we kind of get burnt out. And so I did kind of learn pretty quickly just talking to Amanda and some other people that were good at it and their experience, and they helped me. So just, like I'm sure you guys have all heard, just make sure you do the essential list, make your list, shut off your phone and all the distractions, get through your musts, do your personal development while you can multitask. I do mine while I'm getting ready in the morning, and sometimes in the car, not a lot of times with my kids in the car, depending on where we're going. If it's a longer drive, absolutely. So yeah, just use personal development time, in your other times, not your power hour, unless that works best for you. And be a sponge, at the beginning. Just soak it all up. I just spent a lot of time learning, playing around in the back office. The more information that you can get, the better. Listen to all the national wake-up calls. Plug into all of these Zooms. It all is going to help you. There's never been a time where I'm like, oh, that totally wasted my time, right? Because it's all helping you in your business. The other thing about the time blocking, you can limit your time on the computer, but then all day spend it networking. It's going to help you if you're out there being a mom or at work or whatever you do during the day. You can use it for your business. You're just starting conversations with people. It doesn't have to be about Beachbody, but you're out there doing stuff. So why not kind of try to tie it in, right? It doesn't always have to be at home on the computer. The fourth category is consistency. So this has been really key for me to get my business up and going fast, but to maintain it is that I show up every day. There's not a day where I don't do something. My schedule is pretty random. I kind of have a set power hour, but some days it doesn't happen at that time and I need to shift it. So for me, I kind of just roll with the day. Some days it's in the morning and then I go back again at night, and then it's a little during the day, or some days it's that straight, 1.5 hours in the afternoon. So do what works for you and your schedule, and don't feel like it needs to be what everyone else is doing. Okay. You got to do what works for you. Because if you feel like you're pressured to, kind of do something that's not your style, then it's not going to work for you. So be true to who you are in your consistency. Also, post what you're up to on your pages. People are curious on Facebook what you're doing, right? And they watch. So I think that's the biggest thing that I have learned and that I have been fulfilled by seeing is people will reach out and say, gosh, I've been watching you and now I'm ready to join you. Well, I had no idea they were even there. Isn't that such a cool thing? So just be consistent. It doesn't have to be in your face, but I'll say like, wow, I really enjoyed my, max 30 workout and blah, blah, blah. Just tie it in there somehow. And, maybe you're doing the 21-day fix. Just tie in your little jabs here and there because they're watching. And then they might come back and say, so what is this PIO? You've been talking about it helping your hamstrings and that you're a runner. So definitely just kind of be consistent and kind of weave it into your messages. Be relatable with your consistency too, right? Because we all want them to know that we're real people and that we're not perfect and that we don't just eat clean 100%. And we don't always wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get workouts in. So be relatable. Show some of your vulnerabilities. Show them a picture of you eating something that's not clean. People will respect that so much because sometimes maybe they think we're scary. I can't be like her. She's this ultra fitness lady. And if you come to one of my classes, like I might be kind of scary as far as workouts, not personally, but, they think, oh my gosh, her classes are hard. So I don't want them on Facebook or through my business, want them to feel like, oh my gosh, she's too intense. I can't work out like her. She does that Tabata class. No, I want them to see that I too was where they are and I'm still a work in progress. I'm not perfect and I have goals and I'm constantly changing. So just make yourself relatable. Personal development. Yay, we always talk about this, right? But my only really tidbit for this is just do it. At first I did not. And I thought, who has time to add one more thing, right? Like that does not fit into my schedule and I have kids running around and I'm at the gym training and when am I going to read? And just, I downloaded Audible. I do it mostly on the Audible, and now I read a little bit in the books too. And pick topics that you like. Pick stuff that's gonna feed your soul. It doesn't have to be stuff that's dry for you or boring. Just pick. There's so many good books. So just do it. And it doesn't have to be for an hour a day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can get, it helps. It's going to get you through those bad days because you worked on yourself, right? And it's going to make us all just kind of overall better people if we do personal development. I personally feel like just, adding it, I could tell I was a better mom. I was a little more patient. I was a better wife. I was just a little more in tune. So I know we say that a lot, but it's so true. So just do it. It doesn't have to be a certain amount of time. Do it when it works for you, and you'll see a big difference. Another topic here is connect with your team, like everybody. I think this has really helped me, whether it's upline, downline, side, like just be in contact with people and kind of just see what they're up to, and that's going to help you. You're probably going to learn something new, right? So I have 2 success partners. Jess isn't my direct coach, but her and I talk a lot. Nicole and I talk a little bit. Alyssa, it just people down, upside, we're all a team. So feel like you can, start conversations with people that maybe you don't know and get to learn some new things. And, email me, message me. I would love to, meet some new people and get some new ideas from you guys too. So don't ever feel like someone's too busy to help, or, ooh, she's got her own thing going on, or, Amanda, like, ooh, she's so busy that I think for a while when I first started, I was like, I can't message Amanda, she's so busy. Well, she responded, hi, I do this full time. Like, you should probably contact me first because this is my job. And I thought, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way, but that's true. So don't be afraid to talk to everybody, right? Because that's going to help. And the last couple of things, probably the biggest thing that is near and dear to my heart is don't focus on selling. Right? We hear this over and over and over. But if you feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to sell 3 challenge packs this month to hit Success Club? Well, right there, you're thinking about it wrong, right? And then it's not going to work. You have to think about, I have to find 3 people that I'm going to help this month, right? So just kind of turn that mentality around in your thoughts and focus on the helping people. Make the list. Who do you think is going to be ready? Who maybe said no, that you can circle back with, that, you think it's time? Who maybe has mentioned to you that they're really frustrated with how they feel in their pants, or they're just uncomfortable, or, just try to remember those folks and kind of keep a log, and just don't focus on the selling, but it's all about helping, right? And if you ever feel like icky, it feels like sales, well, then it is. So you just have to, kind of change your mentality, and it's all about helping people. And you guys know this, but this job is for people that are so passionate and so awesome with big hearts. So don't ever let that escape who you are while you run your business, because that's who you are, and that's why you're here, because Beachbody attracts people that just want to help, right? So just kind of make that your number one. And that's what's going to come across when you talk to people. I never feel like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to, get this person into my program. A lot of times I just ask questions and I never bring it up. Or I say, if they say they're having digestive problems, I'll say, gosh, I started Shakeology, when I had some issues like that, and it helped me. And that's it. I walk away and they'll bring it back up, the next time. So tell me a little bit more about that. Can you explain? So if you just kind of approach conversations like that, leave them little nuggets. If they say, gosh, that at-home stuff is not for me, I'm a gym person, you could say, I was like that too. I thought I was only a class person and a gym person. I could never motivate myself to work at home. I have little kids running around. Why would I want to work out at home when I can go to the gym, put them into daycare? Well, I do it now. I can wake up. I can go in my pajamas. I save about an hour. I don't have to rush and find parking and get my kid checked in and go to the locker room and talk to 25 people on the way to class, it's done. And I have a quiet house. The guys are still sleeping. It's awesome. I have coffee when I'm done. I look outside. I enjoy the birds. That's it. And you walk away. And they're going to think about that. So it doesn't always have to be, hey, do you want to join me? Let's talk about Sean T and his awesome program, or, here's the sample. Just leave them little nuggets about how it's affected you. They'll listen and they'll come back. So that is all. I think I got it all. Did I overwhelm you? And just kind of be visible in your community. If I want to say one more thing too, just kind of get out there, make some connections, wherever you are. If you're a soccer mom, make some more mom friends at soccer. It doesn't have to feel like, selling, like I say, just meet as many people as you can, and they're going to find out what you're doing. Maybe they're kind of wondering, ooh, what has she got in that container? What is she drinking over there? Ooh, what's that Pio shirt she has on? So don't be afraid to get out there and just kind of spread the word subtly. People are watching, right?
So Bridget, in the chat box earlier when you were talking about posts, you made some comment about if a post doesn't work, try it again later in a different way. And Trisha wrote, do you ever go back and delete posts that didn't get a response before you put another one out there?
I do. I just did that, actually. Yes, I think that's totally fine. If there's no response and you just kind of feel like, I don't really want, time has gone by and no one's kind of go back and see that again, absolutely go in, delete it, wait a few days, and either try the same one again or try maybe a little different bit of an approach. Because sometimes it's just timing. Maybe it was a weird time of day, or maybe people are just not ready to say, yes, I'm ready. And 2 days later, they're going to be in a different mood and they're going to say, yes, I'm ready. A lot of times if I wait to the last minute and I say, my challenge group starts in 10 days, we've got to order in 3 days to get going, then I get like 10 responses. So I'll try all month and then it's nothing until that last one when they're like, mentally, I need to do this in 10 days. So sometimes it needs to be a shorter window.
I agree. And whenever you're talking about reaching out to people, Shakeology customers to get discount coaches, I do that regularly, but I just kind of had an epiphany, and I don't necessarily know if you have an answer, or if Ann has an answer, or if Jill has an answer, or Becca, or anybody who's played around with it. But for those of us who have been coaches for a while, is there a way to sort in the back office your customers and like repeat orders? Because you get leads and customers from the company. Is there a way to sort that or run a report of people who are just repeatedly drinking Shakeology? Anyone know?
I don't know.
That's something that I think you need to, Ann, I see your face. Do you know anything about that, Miss Systems Girl?
Yes, you can. You can sort, and you can export it into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can filter whatever you want too.
I think Jacob just has his next assignment.
Somebody showed that to me too just recently. They said that you could do that. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, haven't done it yet.
So for those of us who have been getting leads from the company for a long time, and Shakeology leads for over a year or so, that's something that we should all consider doing, is going back and looking to see who, because there might be people who, when you've reached out to, haven't replied back to you because they don't care about joining an accountability group. But if you say, I can save you $20 a month, you've been ordering Shakeology every month for me for the past year and a half, and you don't know me, would you like to save some money? You might get a reply to that message.
Absolutely. And Jess Kennedy, she actually writes her leads a card. Like if they don't respond via email, she'll send them a handwritten card, which I haven't tried yet, but I thought that was kind of cool. So maybe try different ways.
I think her assistant does that, doesn't she?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't got time for that business, but when I have an assistant, she'll do that.
Absolutely. That's on my would be nice list, right?
Yeah, would be nice list. And then I have a question too, and I'm going to open it up for my coaches to ask questions if they have any. But when you said be relatable, this is something I struggle with. Whenever we want to give them something to like, right? So how is it your approach that you're relatable without ever being pessimistic?
So I think like I talk a lot about what my little boys do when they're out and about, and people think it's hilarious because they're all like, oh my God, I so have been there. I'll say like, I can't believe my kid just stuck his head under the sprayer in the produce section. Like, you know, has anyone else had this problem where like your kids want to drink the water from the produce section? So I'll leave it with something kind of funny, like, well, at least nobody saw, and you know what I mean? Like there's that dangler at the very end to kind of turn it around to make it into something kind of funny, like so it doesn't sound like just a vent, but you're kind of adding a little, well, you know, whatever the example is, I can't think of how I turned that one around, but just kind of change the last part of it, like ... But, you know, mom stopped on the way home and she got a Starbucks to, you know, I was de-stressing it. You know, we made it out safe, nobody got hurt, and, you know, the wine was waiting at home or something. Kind of funny.
Right? And I love that you said that you leave little nuggets with people. I probably don't do that enough, of bringing up the conversation but it not making it about the conversation, just being like, I like how you said, oh, you drop the nugget and then you walk away. Like I probably don't walk away enough. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
It seems kind of scary because you're thinking, well, gosh, they might not come back, or they might not, you know, like I could talk about it more, but I felt like that's a better way to do it, because it seems like it's not, you know, as invasive, and they can just kind of stew on it. And if it's someone you see again, you're probably going to bring it up.
Does anybody else have any more questions or anything they'd like to discuss with Bridget before we're done for today? If we've gone over 7 minutes, anybody? I talked a lot. I had a lot of questions.
No, I just want to give a shout out to my coach, Jessica, that she got on the call.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. Trisha, you always have questions. Do you have a question? Not today. I already asked them all for you. All right. Okay. Well, Bridget, first, before we end completely, I want to apologize. I realized after it came out of my mouth, I added an S to the end of your last name earlier.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't notice.
Well, names are a big pet peeve of mine. Like I grew up, everyone calling me Audrey. No one ever, my husband's grandmother still calls me Audrey, and it drives me insane. And so when people say when I say names wrong, I hate it because I don't like people to call me Audrey.
Oh gosh, no worries.
So thank you so much, Bridget.
Thank you guys.
Your time and your energy. And guys, don't be afraid to go and drop by Bridget's page. And Bridget, do you have a like page or just a friend page?
Fitness with Bridget.
Fitness with Bridget. Go drop by Bridget's like page so you can see what she's doing. She's obviously been successful in the time in which she's been a coach. So it's always nice to emulate people who are doing things that are working. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
Call your mother on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Love you guys. Bye.